Alright, so today we got a couple things we gotta do on the old Honda 70 here. So, common issue with these things. It's hard to tell, but the motor is actually moving. And one way to fix that is there's a bolt that holds the engine to the frame. It's behind this leaf. Right in there. That actually opens out the hole in the frame. So then your engine will move up and down a little bit, which you don't want. We race these things on the pit bike track, and jumping them isn't a great idea. I've always heard that. Either the Honda 70s and the Honda 50s, the Honda 110s, same thing, but the 110s, they make a cradle that bolts from the frame under your foot peg mount, which strengthens everything up. Well, for years I thought they never made anything like that for these, but I was wrong. So you can get these brackets right here, there's two of them, on eBay. 60 bucks. Some people just make them themselves. But essentially what they do is they bolt to your frame here, and they go underneath your foot peg mount, and it creates a cradle on the frame. So strengthens everything up and should solve my issue of the motor moving a little bit at least. Plus it'll add some strength for hitting the big jumps. But we gotta do that. I want to throw my new air filter on because that thing is toast. It's so dry rotted. It's not even funny. But I've got that, and then I've got an extended brake pedal and a new front brake cable as well. So your first step's going to be taking this cover off. It's just 3 8mm bolts. That pops off, and then you're going to go ahead and take the foot peg mount off. Once you get your 4 bolts out, they're all 12mm. Once you get them out, all you got to do is feed it around the brake. Pull your brake down, and your foot peg mount is out. Alright, so next thing you want is a spring puller tool of any sorts. This is mine, it's homemade. But there's a spring right here on your brake. You're gonna want to pull that off for the next step. There's a spring there. And then behind that is a 12mm nut. And you're gonna need a 12mm for the other side. And you're gonna take that bolt right there out. Once you get this bolt out of right here, just toss it aside. They'll come back in later. But basically, now you're going to take this piece right here and see how it lines up. Lines up with that bolt hole that was there for the engine mount. So now that that bolt's just pushed back in, the nut's on the other side, but you can see, as I lift this up into place, it's actually moving the engine and tightening the chain. So, if I would have had these on right from the beginning, I probably would have never had the motor moving issues that I do. But, you know, better late than never is what they say. So, don't be like me. Just buy these. It's 60 bucks. It's a lifesaver. So something else I thought I'd do while we are right here is I got this 1-inch extended brake pedal from TB Parts. It's like 40 bucks. Get it at Fat MX. It's a lot thicker, and it's also an inch longer. You know, better for adults, more comfortable. But I'm going to throw that on while I'm right here, and then we'll get to putting that bracket on this side as well. So this side, same thing as the other side, is just going to go on right here. So grab your nut and tighten it on lightly. So once you get these things on there with this bolt, and you get them bolted up with your foot peg mount in between these and the engine, you may need longer bolts. I had some aftermarket bolts in mine anyways, so they ended up fitting. So your next step is to grab a drill bit. I think it's a 7/16. I don't have one. I have a 3/8, but I'm gonna have to wallow it out a little bit to make it work. But you just drill a hole through here on both sides, jam a bolt through, and then you're good to go. But already, like, I can't even move my motor. Everything feels so rigid. These are actually pretty good. I'll see if I can find a link for these, and I'll put it in the description below. So yeah, once you get those two bolts back in, put your spring back on for your brake. I put a new brake arm on mine. And then you're good to go. And that just strengthens the frame up so much more. You can kind of see from underneath, but makes a big difference. I highly suggest if you have a Honda 70 or a Honda 50 that you do this mod. So yeah, I got it all back together, and like I said, I would highly suggest doing this if you have a Honda 70 or a Honda 50. It just makes a big difference. If you guys want to know any other tips and tricks to make these things work really well, just let me know in the comments, and I will make another video on the full build. I've got a couple more things to do, but it works really well. Anyways though, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Sayonara.